In a world filled with vibrant colors and breathtaking sights, where every corner is a canvas painted with the hues of life, there lived a man who had never known the gift of sight. His world was one of perpetual darkness, a place where light had never penetrated. Born into a world of darkness, he had to rely on his other senses to make sense of his surroundings. The sounds of the city, the feel of the pavement under his feet, and the scents that wafted through the air were his guides. He had spent his days navigating life through touch and sound. Every step he took was a testament to his resilience and determination. The rustling of leaves, the chirping of birds, and the distant hum of traffic were his companions. He could feel the warmth of the sun on his skin, a gentle reminder of the world beyond his darkness. The sun's heat was a comforting presence, a silent promise of a world he could not see. But he could not see its golden rays. The beauty of a sunrise, the splendor of a sunset, and the brilliance of a clear blue sky were all lost to him. He could hear the laughter of children, their joyous voices echoing through the air. Their playful energy was a melody that brought a smile to his face. But their playful faces remained a mystery to him. The expressions of joy, the twinkle in their eyes, and the innocence of their smiles were things he could only imagine. Each day he would sit by the roadside, his hand outstretched, hoping for a coin or two to sustain him. The kindness of strangers was his lifeline, a thread that connected him to the world. His hand outstretched, hoping for a coin or two to sustain him. The clink of coins in his hand was a small victory, a sign that he was not entirely forgotten. He was a man forgotten, a solitary figure in a bustling world. The crowds moved around him, their lives a blur of motion and color that he could never fully grasp, lost in the shadows of a world that seemed to pass him by. The indifference of the passers-by was a constant reminder of his isolation. But unknown to him, a day of profound change was about to dawn, a day that would shatter the darkness and bring light into his life, a day when his life of darkness would be forever illuminated by an encounter with the Son of God. This divine intervention would be the turning point, a moment of grace that would transform his existence. Little did he know that his cries for help had not gone unheard. His pleas, filled with desperation and hope, had reached the ears of the one who could change everything. That the one who saw his plight was about to change his life forever. This encounter would be a beacon of hope, a testament to the power of compassion and divine intervention. As the man sat by the roadside, his heart heavy with despair, he heard the sound of approaching footsteps. The murmur of conversation reached his ears, and he realized that a group of people was passing by. Little did he know that this was no ordinary group. Among them was Jesus, the Messiah, the one who had come to heal the sick and give hope to the lost. Jesus, filled with compassion for the man, stopped before him. The disciples, their hearts filled with curiosity, gathered around. "Rabbi," they asked, their voices filled with wonder, "who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind?" Their question reflected the common belief that suffering was a direct result of sin. They saw the man's blindness as a punishment, a mark of wrongdoing. Jesus' response shattered their assumptions. "Neither this man nor his parents sinned," he declared, his voice filled with authority. "But this happened so that the works of God might be displayed in him." With these words, Jesus shifted the focus from blame and judgment to grace and redemption. He saw the man's blindness not as a curse, but as an opportunity to reveal the power and love of God. Bending down, Jesus took some dust from the ground and mixed it with his own saliva, forming a small mound of mud. Gently, he applied the mud to the man's eyes. "Go," Jesus instructed, his voice filled with tenderness and power. "Wash in the pool of Siloam." The man, his heart filled with a flicker of hope, rose to his feet. He had been blind since birth, living in a world of darkness and relying on his other senses to navigate through life. Every step he took was a leap of faith, guided by the sounds and smells around him. Today, however, was different. Today, he had encountered Jesus, a man known for performing miracles. The crowd around him buzzed with excitement and anticipation, whispering about the wonders they had witnessed. Guided by the sound of Jesus' voice and the murmurs of the crowd, he made his way to the pool of Siloam. Each step was filled with a mixture of fear and hope. He could hear the gentle lapping of the water as he approached, a sound that had always brought him a sense of calm. The crowd parted to let him through, their eyes filled with curiosity and wonder. With trembling hands, he knelt by the water's edge. The coolness of the water against his skin was a stark contrast to the warmth of the sun on his back. He took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the moment. This was it. This was the moment that could change his life forever. As he splashed the cool, refreshing water onto his face, he felt a tingling sensation in his eyes. It was as if the water was washing away years of darkness, bringing with it a promise of light. He could feel the eyes of the crowd on him, their collective breath held in anticipation. He opened his eyes, and for the first time in his life, he could see. The world around him came into focus, and he was overwhelmed by the sheer beauty of it all. Colors he had only heard about in stories now danced before his eyes, vibrant and alive. The world exploded in a kaleidoscope of colors and shapes. Every detail, every nuance was a revelation. The sky was a brilliant blue, dotted with fluffy white clouds. The grass beneath his feet was a lush green, each blade swaying gently in the breeze. Trees, once only vague forms he could sense with his hands, now stood tall and majestic, their leaves rustling in the breeze. He could see the intricate patterns of the bark, the way the sunlight filtered through the leaves, casting dappled shadows on the ground. The sun, which he had only felt as warmth on his skin, now shone brilliantly in the sky, casting long shadows across the ground. Its light was blindingly bright, yet it filled him with a sense of wonder and awe. People, once just voices and footsteps, now had faces, each one a unique tapestry of expressions and emotions. He could see the joy, the curiosity, the amazement in their eyes. Each face told a story, each expression a glimpse into their souls. The man was overwhelmed with the beauty and wonder of the world he had been born into, but had never truly seen. Tears of joy streamed down his face as he took in the sights around him. He felt a deep sense of gratitude not just for the gift of sight, but for the opportunity to experience the world in all its glory. This was a moment he would cherish forever, a testament to the power of faith and the miracles that can happen when you believe. Section 5. Whispers and Wonder. His heart overflowing with joy, the man stumbled back to the village, his eyes drinking in every sight. People he passed stopped in their tracks, their faces etched with astonishment. They had known him for years, the blind beggar who sat by the roadside, and now he walked among them, his eyes bright with the light of sight. Whispers followed him as he walked. Is that him? Is that the blind man? Some recognized him instantly, while others struggled to reconcile this transformed man with the one they had known. He was a living, breathing miracle, and the news of his healing spread like wildfire through the village. Section 6. Doubts and Accusations. But not everyone rejoiced in the man's newfound sight. The Pharisees, the religious leaders of the day, were skeptical. They refused to believe that such a miracle could occur, especially on the Sabbath, a day of rest according to Jewish law. They summoned the man before them, their faces etched with suspicion. "How were you healed?" they demanded, their voices sharp with interrogation. The man, still overwhelmed with the wonder of his healing, recounted his encounter with Jesus. He told them about the mud, the washing in the pool, and the miraculous moment when his sight was restored. But the Pharisees refused to listen. They accused him of lying, of fabricating the story to deceive them. They even went so far as to question his parents, hoping to discredit his testimony. Section 7. Seeing with New Eyes. Despite their doubts and accusations, the man stood firm. "One thing I do know," he declared, his voice filled with conviction. "I was blind, but now I see." He had been touched by the divine, and no amount of skepticism or disbelief could take that away from him. He had experienced the power of Jesus firsthand, and he was eager to share his story with anyone who would listen. The man's simple but powerful testimony revealed a deeper truth. He had been given more than just physical sight. He had been granted spiritual sight as well. He had come to see Jesus not just as a healer, but as the Son of God, the Messiah who had come to bring light into the world. Section 8. More than a miracle. The story of the blind man is more than just a tale of a miraculous healing. It's a narrative that transcends time and place, touching the very core of human experience. This story is not just about the restoration of physical sight, but about the unveiling of spiritual insight and understanding. It's a powerful reminder that even in the darkest of times, even when we feel lost and alone, God sees us. He is aware of our struggles and our pain, and He is always ready to reach out to us with His love and compassion. In moments of despair, when the world seems to close in around us, we can find solace in the knowledge that we are never truly alone. He hears our cries for help, and He longs to draw near to us. Just as the blind man called out to Jesus, we too can call out to God in our times of need. Our prayers are never in vain, for God listens intently to the pleas of His children. He desires to be close to us, to comfort us, and to guide us through the trials we face. Just as Jesus saw beyond the man's physical blindness, He sees beyond our outward appearances and into the depths of our hearts. He understands our innermost thoughts and feelings, our fears and our dreams. Jesus looks past the surface and sees the true essence of who we are. He recognizes our potential and our worth, even when we ourselves may not. He knows our struggles, our fears, our hopes, and our dreams. He is intimately acquainted with every aspect of our lives. This deep understanding and empathy are what make his love so profound and transformative. When we feel misunderstood or overlooked by others, we can take comfort in knowing that Jesus truly knows us and loves us unconditionally. This story challenges us to examine our own lives. It invites us to reflect on our own spiritual blindness and the areas where we may be missing God's presence and work. Are we too focused on the material and the visible, neglecting the spiritual and the unseen? Are we allowing our doubts and fears to cloud our vision and prevent us from seeing the truth? Are there areas where we are blind to God's presence and His work in the world? Are we so caught up in our daily routines and concerns that we fail to recognize the miracles happening around us? This story encourages us to open our eyes and hearts to the divine, to be more aware of God's hand in our lives and the world around us. Are there times when we, like the Pharisees, allow doubt and skepticism to cloud our vision? Do we let our preconceived notions and biases prevent us from seeing the truth? This story calls us to let go of our skepticism and to embrace faith, to trust in God's goodness and His plan for our lives. Just as the blind man's physical sight was restored, we too can experience a spiritual awakening. This awakening is not just a momentary event, but a continuous journey of growth and discovery. It is about seeing the world and ourselves through the eyes of faith, recognizing the beauty and wonder of God's creation, and understanding our place within it. A renewed sense of sight that allows us to see the world and ourselves through the eyes of faith. This renewed vision brings hope, joy, and a deeper connection to the divine. It transforms the way we live, the way we interact with others, and the way we perceive our own lives. Let us embrace this miracle and allow it to guide us on our spiritual journey. Section 9. A Call to See. The story of the blind man is a call to action, an invitation to step out of the shadows of doubt and into the light of God's love. It's a reminder that even when we feel stuck, even when we feel invisible, God is at work in our lives. He sees us, He hears us, and He longs to bring healing and wholeness to our hearts and minds. Let us be like the blind man, open to the transforming power of God's love. Let us seek His guidance, trust in His plan, and allow Him to open our eyes to the wonders He has in store for us. Just as He healed the blind man's physical sight, He can heal our spiritual blindness, enabling us to see the world and ourselves through the lens of His grace and mercy.